Hey guys, today we have the iPhone XR, and this is Apple's low-budget premium iPhone.
Well, what's so premium about it?
Well, it does have an edge-to-edge display and Face ID, but it also has the new A12 Bionic processor in it.
Well, what makes it budget then?
Well, it doesn't have an OLED display, it is LCD, and the band around it is aluminum instead of stainless steel.
Well, do you think that it can hold up to as much abuse as the iPhone X?
Probably not, because it is weaker metal.
Well, what made you get this one over the XS?
Honestly, it's the price. T-Mobile wanted way too much down for the XS versus the XR, where the XR it was zero down, and it's a lot cheaper per month.
Well, if it is premium at a cheaper price, then let's bust this thing open and see what we get for it.
Yes, absolutely. Now, here's the moment I've been waiting for. It's just opening the box. And I've had this for a little while now, and I've been excited to open it. So here we go. Ready? Whoa. It's just beautiful. Just falls apart as soon as that comes off.
They do a very good job with wrapping their products,
Oh
that is for sure.
Here we go, just lift that up. There we go.
Designed by
And-
Apple.
Whoa,
It's on.
it's on. How is it on?
What? It's almost dead.
It's almost dead.
That is weird.
Wow, that is weird. Okay, let's pull that beautiful guy out of there. Wow, it's actually really beautiful. Let's take this off here. Woo.
There it is.
Beautiful. It makes me wonder how long it's been on in there.
Well, then we also got our Apple our charging brick, some headphones, charging cable. That's it.
That is it. You know, one thing I would say I'm disappointed in, they still don't sell the bigger 10 watt or 12 watt charger with these iPhones, because that charger takes a long time to charge. And with the size of the batteries now, they should upgrade that. And it looks like, because I don't see it already, is that it does not sell with the adapter for your headphones. So if you wanted to use any other headphones with this phone, you would have to go out to the Apple store and buy a separate adapter.
Well, let's get rid of these accessories. We don't need them right now. And let's take a look at the phone. First off, it looks pretty amazing to me. This looks a lot like the typical iPhone X to me. And I gotta say that I actually kind of like this aluminum. Is it aluminum, right?
It's aluminum.
Yeah, I like that edge. It kind of reminds me of the phone that I use all the time, and I think it looks really good on this.
It really does. And the back glossiness is just too many fingerprints, though.
Yeah, that is the only
Already.
thing I gotta say is a little harsh about that is you get fingerprints on there. It is glass. If you break it, that kind of sucks, but it does look really elegant.
So along the back here, you also only get one camera, and that's the other reason why it's a lower budget phone, is because you don't get the dual lens cameras. Other than that, it looks roughly the same exact phone as an iPhone X.
But of course, what other better way to compare them than to have the original iPhone X that we actually did an early review of right here with us.
And wow, can you tell? Look at this. Already there's a size difference.
Yes, there is.
I didn't think it was going to be that much bigger. My personal favorite size of a phone was the 10. And I'm curious to see how I'm going to like the 10R versus that.
Although to me, it doesn't look that much bigger, but I do prefer something that is bigger because I like to be able to hold on to it and not drop it or feel like I'm going to drop it. You know, so having that extra little bit to wrap your hand around to really grip it is something I like.
Let's take a look at the bezels, because this is an aluminum bezel versus the stainless steel. And as you can see, the stainless is so shiny. Let's turn this around to the back here. And wow, the finish is really the same.
It's kind of hard to tell, but it almost looks a little bit different color.
It does.
Might just
The
be
10
reflections.
Yeah, the 10 almost leans darker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost. It's really
Oh, right
hard.
there, it looked pretty close. The one thing I did notice when you were moving them around is that the SIM tray is in a different location.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been in the middle of the phone on the side like that for years, and they finally knocked it down. Well, let's set it up and see what other features we get inside of the phone.
So now that we're in, let's go ahead and compare this thing to the iPhone X And I do remember one of the things that you said was that the the screen is an LCD.
Yes, it is. And I'm curious to see how much of a difference LCD versus OLED really makes.
All right, so we just set the background is exactly the same. We're gonna make sure that the brightness is relatively the same. Let's bring it all the way down. Oh my gosh, you
Ooh.
can't even see your screen.
Can't even see it.
Okay, now let's go like halfway.
Let's bring her up. Okay, halfway.
And this one still looks a little brighter.
Yeah,
not
that
a
definitely
ton,
looks brighter.
but it is a little brighter. And I gotta say, it doesn't look that much different on camera. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but let's go all the way.
Max it out.
Max it out. And
wow.
It's
still brighter.
It's still brighter. It still is brighter, and I would have to say that you can kind of see in the screen almost actually better definition here too. Although it's super bright, you can see more, whereas this, you know, is definitely blowing out in the screen. I mean, on camera, you know, and it does look a lot better, and I could maybe see that you being able to see the iPhone X screen in the light a little bit better.
The whites also look a lot better on the OLED screen, and the blacks right next to the whites, of course, seem better as well. So you get better brightness and you get better colors as well.
So besides the screen being an LCD screen, is there any other differences between the two?
Well, the 10R does have lower resolution than the 10. And I gotta be honest, I don't see it.
Well,
Do you see it?
maybe. Very slightly. I mean, you have to look so close.
Well, maybe if you take the phone out of your
So
face,
close
you
to
will
see it.
see it.
I gotta say that I can see.
If you look really close, you can see some pixels on there.
And honestly, who's gonna look at their phone that close?
Yeah, from this distance, the distance that you would typically use a phone, it looks pretty much exactly the same. So is there any other big difference between these two?
I would say just the 3D touch. They did get rid of 3D touch on this phone, which is weird to me, to add a feature, stick with it, and then remove it later on.
That's a pretty big feature. I mean, I actually use 3D touch a lot on my phone, and I really like it. It's helped a lot in just usability of the phone.
All I use it for is editing text. And all I want to see is if I can edit text the same way as I could with my older phone. That's a big thing to me.
I
That's
do use that
important.
mostly there.
Let's go to messages here.
Gotta throw some flair in there.
So
huh?
right there, I don't like that. Maybe I added too many E's. I'm like, I want to change that. So with the old phone, I would tap anywhere on the keyboard and just press, and you can't do that here. But I did realize or read that you can do that on the spacebar. You tap and hold on the spacebar, and now you're able to enter.
That's actually, I mean, that's
That's
really nice in ways that they thought of you for that reason. I mean,
I know.
You know, typically a company that doesn't really do that, they kind of just like, oh, nope, you lost that feature. I'm glad they still gave you that ability, even though you don't have 3D touch.
Yeah, the only difference is you're not pressing in the middle of the keyboard now. Now you're on the bottom of the keyboard trying to edit, which might work out
Sure.
okay for your thumb. I'm not sure.
Well, it'd be hard to kind of go down and edit text lower down. But other than that, is there anything else that you can think of?
Yes, the camera. It only has a single lens camera versus the dual lens on the iPhone 10 and 10s.
So do you lose any features with only having one camera, or is it you still get some of the same features, or what's the biggest difference?
The only feature I think you lose is the 2x optical zoom you get with that second lens. And everything else, Apple is able to give you those other features through software. And let's see how that works.
All right.
Okay, let's go to the camera here.
So let me get in there too. Yeah, portrait mode.
Oh, look at that. You're already on portrait. Let me go to
I'm all
portrait
set.
here.
Get behind.
Natural light. And
Should I really get this pose in
Oh.
here?
first off, it's zoomed in on the iPhone 10.
Which one am I looking at?
Now you're looking at it. Okay, so you cannot unzoom on the iPhone 10.
Wow, that is really zoomed in.
But it's really zoomed in on you. Look at that.
Wow.
Now, if I zoom mine in to kind of sort of match. And the black background is blurred, and it looks like it blurred around your shirt. Oh wow!
Like it's more in focus. Maybe you
It
gotta
is
try
more
that
in
one more
focus.
time. I'm gonna give it one more shot.
Take a picture of me. Take a picture
Okay.
of me. Maybe it's my hand. Maybe I'm unsteady.
I want you to look at my face, don't look at the camera. Wow, that is really zoomed in.
I know.
Okay, ready? Oh, this one's taking longer to take the picture.
Which one?
The 10. The
10 takes
actually-
longer to take a picture?
Yeah, like I took a picture and it was spinning around in a circle.
All right, so that's quite a bit better of a picture. I kind of, well, you know what?
Well, now
Wow,
this
that-
one looks blurred.
Yeah, this one definitely looks a lot better right now.
So of course there's, user error in the whole thing of, how well am I or you taking a picture of someone, right? I mean,
Always.
But
Could
they
never-
both do look good when you get a good picture of you, and then here's the good picture of me.
It's a great picture.
Yeah, you do kind of have some blurriness down here on your
my
beard,
beard.
and whereas I don't on here.
and the rest of the face is very in focus.
Also, the skin tones look a lot better in the iPhone 10 versus the 10R.
Yes, especially if you go to my
That's it.
face.
That is very whitewashed. It definitely has a better portrait view on the 10.
Yeah. I mean, that is wildly off. I mean, that looks great. Here it looks like a cheap camera. So that's where the budget camera kind of starts to show.
So other than that, is there any other features that you can think of that would matter?
I think that's it.
No? All right. Well, I gotta say, I mean, for being a cheaper phone and still kind of being that flagship, it is a nice phone. I gotta say that having that LCD screen is a little bit of a downside. And if you care about resolution a lot, not a big difference for everyday people, but if you are one of those people, it could bug you. This
And the-
definitely has a better screen.
Yes, it does. And the camera is just wildly better on even the 10. The 10S is even better, apparently. So if you were definitely a camera guy, I would go for the 10S.
Oh, the other thing, the big thing would be 3D touch, I guess.
3D touch, but I think they did a decent job implementing it with a lack of.
Well, yeah, at least they give you some of the feature that you kind of would miss.
Like editing text, that's a huge one.
For sure. And battery life would be the other kind of big thing we didn't really talk about much, but I believe you said it does have a bigger battery life, right?
It does have a bigger battery, and it does have better battery life than the 10S and the 10, and maybe the 10S Max, I've been told.
So that would be something that we can't really test here very well, but if you are someone who likes to have a longer battery life, that might be something that you want to take into consideration. So a big question for you, Mike, is are you happy with your purchase so far?
Well, most things about it, yes, I am definitely happy, but I am a little bit on a downer with the camera because camera taking pictures is a huge deal for me. But maybe we're doing something wrong. Maybe I gotta play with it some more on my free time and see how that goes. And we only use that one mode, so maybe you won't notice as big of a difference for video and regular pictures.
But of course, putting this against the 10, which was a huge improvement in a phone, is a big deal. I mean, it compares very well to a very high-end flagship, phone that iPhone came out with. As always, we hope that we are helpful and that you learned something. Thanks for watching, and Unbox Authority out.